Let's take a look at some charts on BAT from this week's article on Brave New Coin. So BAT stands for Basic Attention Token, which is used through the Brave browser, which is a fork of Firefox. The idea here is that you spend these microtransaction tokens and pay content creators directly versus seeing ads and content getting paid for in that avenue. Brave has also enabled opt-in ads where you can earn BAT to view ads on the browser. It's an ad-free experience otherwise. Something else you can do here is distribute your BAT based on activity viewed through each content producer. So let's say you like a certain YouTube channel that you watch frequently or a set of YouTube channels. It'll automatically distribute that in the background, so there's no friction there as far as, do I give this guy $1 this month in BAT or this gal $5? It's all happening automatically. The issue that's currently arisen is that all this occurs on the Ethereum blockchain, and if Ethereum blockchain fees are high, BAT transactions become more expensive to send than the actual value of the transaction itself. So they've said in the past that they used ETH and ERC20 tokens because Bitcoin was too expensive. Well, here we are, and ETH is kind of too expensive for this sort of activity as well. If we look at the publishers on Brave, so as a content creator, you have to be registered to get Brave rewards. And right now, most of it is on YouTube, which is understandable. BAT existed throughout both Adpocalypse or YouTube Apocalypse or whatever apocalypses you want to label. So YouTube and ad revenue in general through Google and AdSense needs to be disrupted. So I view BAT and Brave as a good thing. Brave, the browser is great. The idea for the token is great. It's just right now there's issues with the friction. There's issues with the total number of BAT tokens. They really shouldn't be a speculative token, in my opinion. They should just be a stable coin. There really shouldn't be a speculative aspect to it at all. I expect the Twitch numbers to actually pop up as well. I think any video content, Vimeo, Twitch, Vimeo, and YouTube are the prime places where I think BAT should do well. But all these numbers are up, and it's nearing 1 million publishers that are registered. And this could be one person registered in all these places. So it's double, triple counted, whatever, but still nonetheless almost 1 million registrations. And all the creators are up and to the left. One thing that is going to stall this, though, is the referral program is ending. At least some aspects of it have already ended. Some more aspects of it are ending in January, where they've teased a new referral program. I don't know what that's going to be. But nonetheless, all of these various websites are all adding creators month over month. So that's what you want to see. There's tons of activity as far as, if you're a creator, you probably know about BAT. You probably know about Brave. If you're using Firefox or Chrome, you probably know about the browser. So there's a lot of eyeballs, media coverage, that sort of thing. A lot of people know about it, that it exists. If you look at the tokens on BAT and mean transaction values, you can kind of see where the referral program was and how the rewards get distributed just based on the transaction spikes every so often. That has declined significantly, as has just general transactions on the network. Again, because I think, in my opinion, ETH fees are higher now, so you just can't move BAT around as easily. So transactions spiked and went way down back to the previous range. Not something you want to see if you're bullish on a use case for a token. So a bit of a bearish outlook there. Average transaction sizes are up a little bit, but I mean, nothing. You don't expect BAT to ever be worth much just because it doesn't need to be. It doesn't make sense that it is worth a bunch of money. Again, it should just be a stable coin, if anything. If we look at NVT, inverse metric of economic utility, and active addresses, again, active addresses, similar to transactions per day, way down here. So not something you want to see. You don't want to see peaks in active addresses or transactions or any on-chain activity. You want to see sustained, slow growth. You don't want to see peaks and troughs quickly. NVT has dropped to near all-time lows, so that's obviously bullish in a vacuum, but looking at all the other stuff, it's hard to be bullish on fundamentals here. If we look at Google Trends, they are up-ish, nothing really crazy. They were up more in August, kind of when price was up a little bit. And if we look at the Brave browser, Google Trends, lots of activity there as far as searches for that browser. And it's a great browser, don't get me wrong. I just, the token, not so sure. Not so sure. Something like it needs to exist, but I'm not sure it's BAT. if you look at the 3-day chart for USD, BAT USD, I like to zoom way out when the chart is historically heavily ranging, and you can see it's the VPVR shows you it's 26 cents is basically the level that price is sat at most of the time, where most of the volume has been. And there's a yearly pivot here, so there's upside resistance at 26. And just looking at this is the 3-day, so this is all history back to 2018. You don't expect this to do anything or go anywhere realistically. It's a mess. I mean, it's had these like W things that didn't go anywhere. It's had a bullish cross that immediately got sold off. So I don't know. I mean, upside sits at around 38.40, but this just doesn't look like a trade here for me. Downside around 15 cents, just based on kind of VPVR and previous lows. If you look at the daily cloud, there is a decent case to be made for an edge-to-edge trade here. Essentially, when price gets inside of the cloud, price typically moves to the other edge of the cloud, currently at 31 cents. It's also a flat Kumo, which means that there's a magnet effect here. It's some 50% fib of the previous range. Additionally, it's got a bullish TK cross. So there's a confluent trend here on low time frames with this edge to edge to 31. So a decent trade, I guess, 24 cents to 31 cents. Your stop loss is going to be between 20 and 22 cents, depending on how tight you would play that, but decent setup there. Decent little setup. And on the BAT BTC chart, it actually looks kind of even better. You can see most of the volume historically is at this 2500 sat range, and this has just gotten sold off relative to BTC like 70% down since August. You can see this massive volume spike, all-time high volume on Binance there for this pair, and then just sold way down. So as far as another edge-to-edge trade into 2021, probably Q2 2021 is when I'd watch this. So set a timer for Q2 2021, a decent 2x setup based on this edge-to-edge. It's got a lot of time on it. You could probably even watch this action here as some sort of diamond bottom or inverted head and shoulders situation on lower time frames. But overall, fundamentals not so great for the token. The browser's great. The token as an like investable, tradable thing isn't really on my list of things I want to hold or trade. Technicals look mediocre at best. There may be a trade from 24 cents to 31 cents based on the daily cloud. And then the BAT BTC pair just needs probably 3 months or more before it's actionable in the long side. I don't know who'd be picking up lows here if this hits all-time lows. Like I don't see a rush of people just waiting to buy knives on BAT. I mean, this may go the way of Doge, where it just sits at like single sat digits or 50 sat, who knows, but there's billions of BAT. And I think that's the biggest problem with any store of value for this token.